gonna keep her in here. Internet pet police. This is just a temporary thing. Watch her start eating the Zola. How great would that be? Get it, girl. I want to see her climb across the other side and like just get out. Look at that. Watch her get out. Hey though, but check it. Yeah, get her safely down off the edge though.
Oh, little Eliana and Nola look so much alike. I see pictures of them. They both have the blonde hair, and they just look so much like each other. Yeah, I know, Mom. My daughter looks like a cousin because they're cousins. What's up, fish tank people? What's up, cuz? Dustin's Fish Tanks bringing it to you on a Sunday, baby. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. In today's video, we're gonna give you an update on what's going on in Greenhouse 2.0 and Greenhouse 3.0. We're also gonna talk about a whole bunch of aquarium plants that are cousins. Identical cousins passing by. That's right, folks. In today's video, we are going to talk about cousins in aquarium plants. We're gonna talk about a genus and how it can spawn off in a bunch of different directions with a bunch of different species, but how they all kind of look the same and what to look for in your aquarium. But first, I wanna give you a little update on what's going on in Greenhouse 2.0 and Greenhouse 3.0. Check this out. So every master was once a disaster. This is the disastrous looking, I've been dribbled on, messed up plans from the original designs for Greenhouse 2.0. There's the building I'm standing in. There's the existing greenhouse structure. We actually did 2 drain pipes out the back. Here is what was approved by the city of Nicholasville for the expansion here. Now I only put up this, we're gonna do this, but then my neighbor Charlie, who's gonna be in this video in just a bit, actually had the ideas like, hey man, you gotta make it bigger. So here's the newly designed prints from our friends at Banks Engineering, where we are going for the full gusto. We've got the existing greenhouse, then the 12-foot bigger greenhouse. Oh, by the way, go big or go home. Shout outs to Tropica, Dennerla, Aquaflora, all those people over in Europe for inspiring me to go bigger. This is what we're trying to get for the final phase. This is coming in August. This is coming whenever, but we're gonna get this full Monty approved. Super jacked about this. And oh, by the way, here is the prints from our friends at Rao Brothers. This is the 1 12-foot, 2 12-foot, 3 12-foot, 4. That's 48 feet by 36 feet. Full atrium roof up top. Guillotine vents on the side like the Raekwon Guillotine song for all my Wu-Tang fans out there. And then there's the existing structure. I'm gonna walk outside and show you what else is going on with it. They say piss poor planning leads to piss poor execution. Here's proper planning right here, having the concrete curbs go out further. There's a hoop house we haven't put together yet. Here is one of the existing yard hydrants that we're gonna bring and put right over here. And then my neighbor Charlie was over here a minute ago, and we marked off where we're gonna bring the water. Now the original designs, which I had to do before the building was put, I put the yard hydrants out in the center of the greenhouse. Now you learn and you say, okay, now I'm gonna put them outside. So one's gonna go here. We're gonna walk over here. We're gonna come off with the water. The water's gonna hit right there. It's gonna come to here and then hit here. There's basically the corner of the greenhouse. Now notice, that's beyond the curb, goes over there, so we're having fun with that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the drains. The drain's gonna come out, gonna go in the same trench. We're gonna take the drain out through here. This is where this yard hydrant right here is gonna move to here. Then we're gonna take this drain and we're gonna run all the way out, so we're stoked about that. And then we're gonna have water back here. So the water will be sitting right here. And then I was thinking about having them do another trench and run another water line or whatever, but we can just do this. Once I have water back here, I can basically go wherever I want, and I can do things like show you this wonderful Sag Basin. They say good things come to those who wait. No. They say good things come to people who do the work and then wait. We planted 500 sag here 2 weeks ago on a Friday. This is 1 day short of 2 weeks worth of growth. I am absolutely enamored with this. If you're not getting the benefits of good substrate in your aquarium by looking at how fast this sag has taken off in here with the dirt substrate, I don't know what else I can do to teach it to you, but this is well over 500 sag now, growing incredibly in full sun. It goes light, it goes nutrients, We do have a little bit of CO2 we kick on, but this is rocking and rolling. It's also not full of a lot of algae because we've hit that critical mass. There's not a lot of algae and there's a little bit of dust of the dirt, but there's not hardly any algae problems because this is at a critical mass where we have a higher plant load that's heavily feeding. We do come out here and we do the work, we do the water changes, and we're absolutely loving the Sag Factory. Please understand the importance of good substrate and how much it can benefit your aquarium. This is all cosmetic. We can easily clean this up. I want to point out something else though. Sag Basin 2, if you will, is a complete hot mess, right? I've only got 250 sag in it. We've had to do multiple water changes. I got to bring it down or whatever. I've got more work to do, not a high enough plant load. Pops in the cap or whatever, so I've got more work to do. We did the work on this one, we patched it periodically, it's paying off, but this has more work to do. Notice the floating plants on top too to remove the excess nutrients. This is going to get a full water change here in a minute, but this one, more work to do. This one, the proof is in the pudding. Besides cooling off, this actually does serve a purpose. I'm trying to find the pockets that are going to come up and cause problems later while this is full. This hasn't been planted yet. We used a larger grade gravel on this, but the Val Torta I did not walk through, and I've been battling it for 2 weeks now. So this one, I used a little bit layer of a sand and then a larger grade gravel. And so far so good with no major pockets of volcanoes coming up. So this has worked out well. So you let your dirt sit out, get it wet and dry it, get it wet and dry it. But this has been fairly good. Like you can see right now, there's no major eruptions coming through, a little bit of bubbles, but nothing major. So we're on to something here. But it's Sunday, cuz it's Species Sunday, baby. Trying to bring it to you with some plants that are all related, same genus, cousins, if you will. Gotta start with the Hygrophilas because they're actually the catalyst for this video. Hygrophilas, I'm gonna bring it to you with the Hygrophilas deformis coming at you first, aka water wisteria. That is a fully underwater grown plant. Doesn't get better than that. Big roots or whatever. So this is like the big burly cousin. Takes no guff from anybody. Can handle anything. Like super beginner plant. And consider this the alpha of the Hygrophilas, if you will. There's also a variegated, you can see the clip here, variegated water wisteria that comes in to us periodically that has this nice variegation on top. But water wisteria, but then you gotta go and you gotta talk about its cousins. I wanna go into here with the Hygrophila salicifolia right there. Now see the similarities in this plant here. This plant has a similar size stem. The roots come off the same way, but it's not as, you know, the leaf structure is different. That is a Hygrophila salicifolia. Then we go from the Hygrophila salicifolia. We're gonna stay close. We're gonna go to the Parawatoda. Love the Hygrophila Parawatoda. This gets red tips in full sun and just really pops off good root structure there. So you could see the similarities we're having here. We're also gonna move on from that. We're gonna go into Hygrophila stricta. Love this plant, love this plant. We've got this plant growing below water, which looks a little bit beat up in some spots, but you compare that to one that's entirely grown above water. This is the difference, folks. This is entirely grown above water. You can see it's just straight up clipped, like no roots, no nothing. This is a hang on to for a while. Above water grown looks better right now to you, but actually this plant right here grown below water is a better way to go. It's already got a couple of roots coming off the bottom, very little nodes there. So this is actually a better plant for your aquarium. This one's gonna go through a conversion process. Looks sweet now, but no roots, no nothing, grown above water. We're gonna take that out because you can't handle that. You're not welcome here, cuz. Then we go right into this bad boy. Oh, this has been underwater for 2 weeks. Hygrophila, see the similarities, right? Similar leaves, staying within the genus, Hygrophila cherry leaf. I wonder why they call it cherry leaf. There is the cherry leaf right there, coming at you. Love that. This plant gets big, tall. All these, in my opinion, are background plants, by the way. The catalyst for this video, though, is this right here. This is the Gangster Hygrophila cordata red. We do not sell it potted. This has just happened to be potted by yours truly because we're getting into potting plants, but that's another conversation. Gangsta Hygrophila cordata red, but look at how close. Look at how much little Eliana looks like her cousin. They look the same here. Look at the little Pinnatifida. It's like, oh, you could see the similarities in the two of them. They look so much alike. I'm sorry, my mom wears me out with that. Love you, Mom. But yeah, they look similar, right? They got like the pink, whatever, but the Pinnatifida's got the variegated leaf. But like if you set them next to each other, you're like, oh. So that's what I'm talking about with the Hygrophilas on a species Sunday. But I got more for you. And I almost left the little cousin at the picnic and didn't include him in the party. Can't forget the Hygrophila compacts. That's an underwater converted compact there. Ugly growth that was grown above water melted off. That's an underwater grown Hygrophila compact. They're cousins. Look at the cousins. Look how they look alike. They're all similar. We need to do a 125 rainbow tank with Hygrophilas. I got some more cousins for you. I'm gonna drop you guys some Species Sunday cousin style on the family of Rotalas. Gonna bring it to you like this. Drop this in the Fluval Flora tank right here. This is the start. I started the last segment with Hygrophila deformis. This is Rotella indica, the easiest Rotella you can get, like easy red plant. That's above water growth, that's below water growth. That's a happy plant, folks. So that is the beginning. Now, I like to think of this as like a tree. These are all within the same genus. This is the easiest of it. The fancier you get, generally speaking, the harder they are to keep. This is the easiest one. We're gonna take it up a little notch here. I've got Rotella Wallichii. Wallichii is, we make George Farmer speaks. And yeah, so there is Rotella Wallichii. This plant has actually really just blown up for us. Loving it, yeah, fluffy. Generally speaking with Rotellas, the fluffier the leaves, the thinner the leaves, gonna be a little bit harder to keep. This was very similar to a Myriophyllum tuberculatum, but the leaves are straight. The Myrio has a little bit different pattern to it, but absolutely loving the Wallichii. Now this likes a little bit higher light. If you're keeping intermediate level plants, this would be one to keep, but notice the similar structure as this Rotella, as far as like the stem size and the roots and all that good stuff. Now here's where it gets fun. It's like a bad 23andMe test. Who's the parents of these? Where did these come from? How are these in the family? I want to talk about Rotella macrandra. I'm going to start with a small. Got Rotella macrandra, small leaf. Again, now if you looked at the base of that, you could see these are cousins. They look so much alike. They just look alike. And then they're obviously related. So you go indica, then you go to small leaf, and then here's where it gets crazy. This was sold to me as big leaf. Clearly, bigger leaves. Looks a heck of a lot like it. Like this plant, love this plant. You know, this is actually holding up very well for us. I think the bigger leaf is actually slightly stronger than the small leaf. Ryan may disagree with me on that. But then I also have this. Beautiful gem right here. Also sold to me as Rotella macrandra big leaf. Now this one has rounder leaves. So look at this, has a pointier leaves. They were both sold to me as Rotella macrandra big leaf. I'd love to get a note in the comments of what your thoughts are on this. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 in the Rotella family, not to exclude Rotella indica green, which would actually be the alpha omega G of this one. We're actually sold out of that, but you can see it. So as a general rule, folks, keep in mind the genus of your plant, and if you're keeping one in a genus and it's doing good, kind of try out some other stuff. And if you have any questions on this, maybe we missed something, make sure you leave us a note in the comments. If you like this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share if you care. Everybody make it an awesome week, you and your cuz. Tank on.